Hello, everybody. It's the TV Optimist. I can actually say TV Optimist because this is about an actual TV show. Wow. It's the third season of South Park. Man, I just love this show so much. That's all. It's a very short review. Where the fuck is the episode list? Rainforest, Main Forest. The boys are forced to join a choir sent to Costa Rica to perform against deforestation as punishment for their rude behavior. But they end up lost in the rainforest and discover that it isn't worth saving. Meanwhile, Kenny falls for a girl in the chorus, but she is reluctant to pursue a long distance relationship. Spontaneous combustion. Randy must find out why the citizens of South Park are suddenly spontaneously combusting. Meanwhile, Cartman plays Jesus and at Stations of the Cross play and ends up stuck on the cross and he gets like super fucking skinny. Succubus. When Chef gets engaged to a strange woman, the boys are convinced that Chef's fiance is a demon bent on sucking the life out of men. Meanwhile, Cartman becomes the butt of several pranks by his eye doctor. Jackovosaurs. The town saves a species from extinction, but finds that they are an extremely annoying race that only Cartman can stand. And I think they were the Jackovosaurs were, a reference to Jar Jar Binks. Tweak versus Craig. Stan, Kyle, Cartman, and Kenny pit Tweak and Craig against each other. Meanwhile, the school shop teacher, Mr. Adler, copes with the loss of his wife, who died in a plane crash. Wow, hilarious. Sexual harassment panda. A man in a panda costume is hired to teach the kids about sexual harassment, leading Cartman to sue Stan and all the kids to sue the school over claims of being harassed. Cat orgy. Cartman is stuck at home with Stan's sadistic sister Shelly as his babysitter, while his mom is at a meteor shower party. Meanwhile, Cartman's cat, Mr. Kitty, is in heat and goes searching for sex with other cats. This is the first part of a three-part story. At the meteor shower party mentioned two guys naked in a hot tub. At the meteor shower party mentioned in the previous episode, Stan is stuck in a basement with Pip, Butters, and Dougie from school, who become important to him when the ATF stakes out the party, thinking that the attendees will commit suicide when the meteor comes. Meanwhile, Randy feels uncomfortable after he and Gerald watch each other masturbate in a hot tub. It's so fucking funny, the whole episode. And Gerald comes up to him and is like, "Randy, are you mad at me? Like, I feel like we're growing distant." He's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" He's like, "It's not a big deal. We just watch each other jack off in the hot tub." And everyone in the party's like, "What?" He's like, "Uh oh," and they're like, "All guys do it. It's whatever." Jubilee. It's Jewbille. On the night of the aforementioned meteor shower, Kyle, Kenny, and Ike go to a Jewish scout camp where Moses appears. Corin's Groovy Pirate Ghost Mystery. This is a really good one. So far, two guys naked in a hot tub and Corin's Groovy Pirate Ghost Mystery are really good. New metal band Korn guest stars in this episode where they are blamed for making Halloween immoral, and the boys use Kyle's grandmother's corpse to scare the sixth graders. And they're animated like the Scooby Gang, which is really fucking cool. Shin Pokemon. The boys become fascinated with the latest fad from Japan, which turns out to be an insidious plot to have American children brainwashed into overthrowing the U.S. government. Shin Pokemon, of course, referencing Pokemon. Fucking great. Hooked on monkey phonics. A homeschooled boy decides to start at public school, much to his overprotective parents' fear. Meanwhile, Kyle falls for the boy's sister. Starvin Marvin in space. The boys must save Starvin Marvin from the government and a Christian group who cares more about converting people from third world countries than them giving food and shelter. The Red Badge of Gayness, also known as just Red Badge of Gayness. During a Civil War reenactment, Cartman, as general leads the drunk Confederate army to attack the Union soldiers across America. Mr. Hanky's Christmas Classics. Mr. Hanky hosts a Christmas musical featuring South Park characters singing twisted renditions of classic Christmas songs and a memorial piece to voice actress Mary Kay Bergman. Mary Kay Bergman voiced a lot of the female characters, most of them, and sadly took her own life, so they had to recast. And that was the only reason they made this episode. They were like, "Oh fuck, like we don't have anything." So in this episode, there are no women singing songs. Like there are no women like with their like solo pieces or anything. And during like the memorial to her, none of the women characters are singing. They're all silent, and all the men are singing. Um, it's a it's a really beautiful tribute to her. Um, yeah, suicide's no joke. Are you there, God? It's me, Jesus. Such a fucking funny. It's such a fucking funny title. That always gets me. Cartman and Kenny mistake a colon infection for their menstrual cycle, prompting Kyle to lie about getting his period and Stan to ingest hormone pills so he would not feel left out. Meanwhile, Jesus plans a New Year's party and is worried his father will not be there. And then God shows up and he looks like some kind of gremlin looking thing. Such like a weird creature. Worldwide recorder concert, aka the Brown Noise. The boys travel to Arkansas to perform at a recorder concert. Meanwhile, Mr. Garrison confronts his father about not being sexually molested as a child. Mr. Garrison flips the fuck out on his dad. He's like, "You, what do you talk about when I was a kid, Dad? I mean, what happened to me as a kid?" And he's like, what are you talking?" He's like, and finally he's like, molestation or whatever. And he's like, "I did not molest you as a kid." He's like, "You shut up, Dad." He's like, "What?" It's like, "I would have had a much better life if you had." It's like, what the fuck? And then like he's really like bothered by it. And his dad's like, "I'm not." And then he's like trying to get his dad to do it now as he's a grown man. He's like, "The fuck is your problem?" And then he's like, "If you're a real dad and you love me, you would molest me." And then at the end of the episode, it happens, but he doesn't actually do it. He like sends down Mr. Slave, um, or some, I forgot who it was. I barely remembered any episodes here, but still had such a great time. This show cracks my shit up. What a short review. Um, it deserves a much better, longer review, especially because of that Mary Kay Bergman stuff. Like I was getting choked up talking about it, but someone. I feel like everyone has a touch of depression. I might have mentioned this before, but as someone who has like has been diagnosed with depression and anxiety and all that shit, it's fucked. Um, and there's some, I don't remember why she did it. No one ever knows like the what's going through someone's mind when they think that way. But not to end it on a downer, South Park is fucking hilarious. It's a great show, and I love the tribute that they did for her. You guys have a good one. Take care.